Hey everyone, Josh Neighbors here, Locked On Big 12 podcast. It is the 24th of November, 2022. It is Thanksgiving. Coming up on the show, it is a weekend preview of all the games coming up. It's the picks, but it is the big picks segment that we do on Big 12 today. So I thought we'd change it up this week, give you guys something to listen to on your Thanksgiving commute, your travel. It is Gabe Ikard, former Oklahoma Center, also Chris Plank of the Oklahoma Radio Network, and myself making picks for every single Big 12 game this week. This was from Wednesday's Big 12 Today on SiriusXM channel 375, where I'm also a producer. So enjoy a different kind of pick segment coming your all's way this week.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
With Robbie Triano out.
I would love to.
I've
got them all up. I am the record keeper, so I am the.
Look at this. Let's go.
I can drive the ship as well.
My overall record sucks.
Yeah.
How is my picks that bad?
So this has been a rough year for most of us. I've had an okay year, but I also think it speaks to the parity of the league. Like nobody pays attention to this league like we do, and we really can't figure it out. So
sure.
I was 1-4 last week, guys. 33, 28, and 2 overall. Robbie was 2-3. He's 29, 32, and 2 overall. Gabe, you were 1-4, just like I was last week. 28, 33, and 2 overall. And Plank, you were 2-3. Now you're 26, 35, and 2 overall.
9 games. What? All right, where are we starting, Josh?
All right, we're starting on Friday afternoon. It is a noon game on ESPN. So this is the Leftovers special. It's a pretty good game, actually. Baylor at number 23, Texas. The Longhorns are an 8.5-point favorite. And if they win, they need a Kansas State loss to make the Big 12 championships. That's kind of what is on the line here. Both these teams obviously will go bowling. So Gabe, Texas laying the 8.5. Which way are you going?
I'm going to take the Baylor Bears plus 8.5. And follow me on this, boys. I actually think being at home for this game for Texas is a disadvantage. Day before Thanksgiving, they're going to get to spend time with their family, be all comfortable. Meanwhile, Baylor will be traveling. They'll be in a hotel. They'll be in meetings. They'll be laser focused. And if Baylor plays well, I don't think these two teams are there's that much separation between the two teams. So I'm taking Baylor because of the Thanksgiving factor. There's some advanced analytics for you.
I like it. Baylor hasn't won in Austin since 2014. Don't know if they're going to win on Friday, but I do know this. Well, I mean, I know this. This is the Big 12. It's made no sense this year. Give me Baylor to cover. I'm with Gabe on that one, Josh. How about you?
I'm going with Texas. Feels like it is a big number. But I think Baylor will be focused. It's just like, what are they playing for? Like, there's not a whole lot out there for them to play for. Not saying they're going to suck, but Texas needs to stamp it down right there if they're going to be going to a Big 12 championship game. All right. Second game. This one's a weird one. West Virginia is getting 8.5 points at Oklahoma State. And this is like a who's playing for what, because West Virginia cannot go bowling. Oklahoma State is already in a bowl game, but as Robert Allen told us, extremely banged up. So a lot of choices being made for some of those guys on their senior day. Now, also, they have an awesome winning streak at home. So, Gabe, which way are you going here? 8.5 points for West Virginia as Oklahoma State's laying that.
I have West Virginia plus 8.5 written down, but I'm going to flip it.
Oh,
I'm going against my gut. I just think the senior day factor of it for Spencer Sanders and the point you made, Josh, out like what West Virginia, they don't know what's going to happen with Neil Brown. You're on the road in Stillwater. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and flip what I thought initially. I'm going to take Oklahoma State minus 8.5.
I'm going to go ahead and take West Virginia to cover. I know that I probably shouldn't. I know that this is going to bite me, but I mean, West Virginia's been so bad on the road this year. So bad. And you mentioned the senior day. I mean, they lost. You know what? Never mind. I'm going to take Oklahoma State to cover. I mean, there's for West.
You just did the exact same exercise that I did. Like,
I mean,
no.
You know, I mean, they lost by 17 at Iowa State. They lost by 38 at Texas Tech. They lost by 3 scores at Texas. Their only road win was at Virginia Tech, and they're not good. So
They're horrible.
yeah, I changed my mind. Give me Oklahoma State to cover.
I'm gonna lay that number also. Oklahoma State guys, like for as south as things have gone, they still have a chance in a 9-win season. That's still on the table for them. And also for West Virginia guys, if you're a coach, you're a player, like isn't everybody on that team kind of thinking about what their next destination is at this point in time? So,
Sure. Yep.
Everyone's got the resume ready.
Right. And I mean, rightfully so. That's how this stuff works now. But I'll take Oklahoma State at home. All right. TCU is 1 win away from being undefeated this week at 4:00 on Fox on Saturday. They host the Iowa State Cyclones. The TCU Horned Frogs are laying 10 points against the 4-7 Cyclones, who have one of the best defenses in the league, obviously the best defense in the league. This morning, John Walters on the morning show said that if they had scored 20 points in every single game, Iowa State, they'd be 8-3 right now, which is an unbelievable stat. So they play a lot of close games, basically, is what that says. Gabe, 10 points against that defense. Are you laying it with the Horned Frogs?
I am. I'm laying the 10. I know that Johnston, Miller, Davis, banged up. I get it. But that Iowa State offense stinks. I mean, they may score 7, they may score 10, but I expect TCU to, put 21 or 24 on the board, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy because that Iowa State defense is legit. I have to imagine there's very awkward energy in that Iowa State locker room right now because one unit is absolutely getting it done and the other unit absolutely is not. Does not make for a harmonious locker room, if I had to guess. I'm going to take TCU minus 10, though, and it has everything to do with Iowa State's inability to produce offensively.
This is another one of those tough ones just because it is so big, but I like
big
TCU.
number.
Big number. I like TCU to roll. I really do. By the way, what was the number on Iowa State?
10.
Josh? 10. No, I'm sorry.
20 points.
20 points.
Oh,
you want another crazy one on
they
that
scored
front?
20 points in every game, they'd be 8-3.
If Denver, the Broncos, had scored 18 points, just 18 points in regulation, they'd be like 9-1 right now. So just ridiculous when you get in these side games.
So you're saying Iowa State is they're the Denver Broncos of college football.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's an awesome comparison.
Where we going next, Josh?
I'm gonna go. Oh, I have to go. I'm gonna go with Iowa State. They got nothing to lose. That's kind of a good Matt Campbell spot, I guess. And also, like the way to beat this Iowa State defense is not explosive plays, which TCU does very well. And I'm worried about the injuries. So TCU wins. Maybe it's a little dicey though. And also, I'd love this number if it was like 10.5. You gave me 10.5. I'd love that.
I would say, I'll say this. I'm not scared to say it. Iowa State beating TCU would be an absolute disaster for this conference.
So bad.
So
bad.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Tweets, the Big 12 would be undoing its retweet. It'd just be terrible. It'd just be terrible.
Tentatively, I'm saying Iowa State plus 10. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm taking TCU. What am I talking about? It's Hunter Deckers.
There you go.
There you go.
I was second guessing going on.
Yeah, it's not great. These lines are so big. It's difficult. All right, yeah. Oklahoma and Texas Tech, the game that you all will be at. It's a 7:30 game on FS1. The Sooners on the road, a 2-point favorite. Gabe, your thoughts and pick.
Lubbock at night in the cold. I hate this spot for Oklahoma. I absolutely hate it. But I do think Oklahoma's defense is going to be able to slow down that Texas Tech offense after watching that offensive line for the Red Raiders quite a bit this week. Don't think that they are going to have a ton of success running the football. I also think that Oklahoma could struggle running the football because of Texas Tech's interior defensive line. No Tyree Wilson is a big deal for Texas Tech. I'm going to take Oklahoma -2, and I'll just tell you, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I'm trusting the Oklahoma defense, which, as I say that out loud, it sounds insane. But I will take Oklahoma -2.
The idea that it's more than just we got bowl eligible, we're good to go now for Oklahoma is an interesting conversation. But I'm going to believe the foundation is built. I'm going to believe that the guys are truly bought in and focused this week. And I like your idea about being on the road, though. Some of the buzz about Oklahoma's travel has got me, I don't know if it's concerned or fired up, but I'll take the Sooners to cover the 2-2. Josh, which way are you going?
I am going with Texas Tech. Getting points at home in a game like this, I just think I'm going to take 2 points. Oklahoma last week, their offense came out like a house fire and then kind of quieted down the rest of the game. And, not really sure how Tech's defense looks this year compared to Oklahoma State's probably a little bit better. So I'm going to go with Tech at home. All right, final one. Kansas State is an 11.5 point favorite at home against their rival, the Kansas Jayhawks, 8:00 Eastern on Fox on Saturday night. The number 12 Kansas State Wildcats win. They're in the Big 12 championship game. Gabe, 11.5. You laying it?
I think I'd lay about 20 in this game.
Ooh.
I think Kansas State's rolling. I think Manhattan's going to be rocking. I think the Jayhawks are walking into a buzzsaw. The leaders on that team know what's at stake, and I think that Kansas State's going to send a message. Going to be a big day for Deuce Vaughn. And I know it's crazy, but I trust Will Howard to play at a high level. So, yeah, I'm going to lay the 11.5 with the Wildcats.
This has been quite the 180, Gabe, and I'm so pumped to
you
see
think?
Give me Kansas State, too. Which way are you going, Robbie? Or Josh, sorry.
I'm Josh, and I am taking
It
Kansas
only took me 2
to
hours.
cover the point, to cover the spread. I think they're motivated for this
Ooh.
game. I think it's a close one. There you
There
go.
it is. Big picks.